Finding lasting love can feel overwhelming, especially with so many choices and uncertainties. Many people wonder if there's a logical way to approach dating rather than relying solely on luck or intuition. Today, we'll explore a fascinating mathematical principle called the 37% rule, which offers a strategic approach to making one of life's most important decisions, choosing a partner. Let's begin by understanding why so many struggle with the search for love and how a bit of science might help. Today's world, dating apps and social circles give us access to more potential partners than ever before. While this might seem like a good thing, it often leads to decision fatigue and second guessing. Should you settle down with the first person you like or keep searching for someone better? This dilemma is at the heart of the 37% rule, which helps us navigate the paradox of choice in love. 37% rule comes from mathematics and decision theory. It suggests that when you're faced with a series of options and want to make the best possible choice, you should spend the first 37% of your search simply observing and learning without making a commitment. After that, you choose the next option that's better than all the ones you've seen before. This rule can be surprisingly effective in dating. Imagine you expect to date 10 people seriously before settling down. According to the 37% rule, you should spend time getting to know the first 3 or 4 people without committing. After that, you commit to the next person who is better than anyone you've dated so far. This approach helps you avoid settling too early or endlessly searching for someone perfect. You might wonder why the number is so specific. Mathematicians found that 37% is the optimal stopping point for maximizing your chances of making the best choice. It's based on probability and statistics, and it balances the risk of missing out on a great partner early with the risk of waiting too long and having fewer options left. The 37% rule is also known as the secretary problem in mathematics. Originally, it was used to help employers choose the best candidate from a pool of applicants. The logic applies to dating as well. You observe a portion of candidates, then select the next one who stands out above the rest. So, how do you actually use the 37% rule in your love life? Start by estimating how many serious relationships you might have before you're ready to settle down. Use the first 37% of those experiences to learn what you want and need in a partner. After that, be ready to commit when you meet someone who truly stands out. First phase of the 37% rule is all about learning. During your early dates, pay attention to what qualities you value, what red flags to avoid, and how you feel in different relationships. This period is not about finding the one right away, but about understanding yourself and your preferences. One of the biggest fears in dating is making the wrong choice and regretting it later. The 37% rule helps minimize regret by giving you a structured way to evaluate your options. By observing first and then committing, you're less likely to wonder what if about the people you didn't choose. Timing is everything in love. The 37% rule is not just about numbers, but about recognizing when you're truly ready to commit. It encourages you to be patient early on but decisive when the right person comes along. This balance can make all the difference in finding lasting love. Let's look at a real-life example. Emma decided she'd date about 10 people before settling down. She spent time with the first 3, learning what she liked and didn't like. After that, she met Alex, who was better than anyone she'd dated before. Following the 37% rule, she committed to Alex and they've been happy together ever since. David, on the other hand, was hesitant to commit. He dated many people but never felt sure. After learning about the 37% rule, he realized he'd been searching too long without a strategy. He started applying the rule and soon found someone who matched his values and goals. The 37% rule is rooted in mathematics and probability theory. It's been tested in various scenarios, from hearing employees to apartment hunting. The logic holds up. By observing first and then acting, you maximize your chances of making the best possible choice. Some people worry that the 37% rule is too rigid or mathematical for something as emotional as love. But in reality, it's just a guideline to help you make better decisions. It doesn't mean you should ignore your feelings or intuition, just that you should balance them with a bit of logic. Of course, not every situation fits the 37% rule perfectly. Sometimes you might meet someone amazing early on, or your circumstances might change. The rule is most useful when you have a clear idea of how many options you'll consider, but it's okay to adapt as needed. While the 37% rule offers a logical framework, it's still important to trust your instincts. If you feel a strong connection with someone early on, don't be afraid to follow your heart. The rule is there to guide you, not to dictate every decision. You can adapt the 37% rule to fit your own life. Maybe you're not sure how many people you'll date, or your dating journey takes unexpected turns. The key is to use the principle as a guide, learning from your experiences and being open to change. Knowing yourself is crucial in the search for love. The 37% rule encourages self-reflection during the early phase of dating. Take time to understand your values, goals, and what truly matters to you in a partner. This self-knowledge will help you recognize the right person when they come along. One trap many fall into is searching endlessly for the perfect partner. The 37% rule helps you avoid this by setting a clear point to start considering commitment. Remember, no one is perfect, but the right person will be the best fit for you. Dating always involves some uncertainty. The 37% rule doesn't guarantee a perfect outcome, but it gives you a rational way to deal with the unknown. By following the rule, you can feel more confident in your decisions even when the future is unclear. Timing plays a huge role in relationships. The 37% rule helps you recognize when it's time to move from exploring to committing. This transition is key to building a lasting relationship, as it ensures you've learned enough before making a big decision. Love is both logical and emotional. The 37% rule brings a bit of logic into the process, but it's important to balance this with your feelings. Use the rule as a tool, but don't ignore your heart along the way. No one gets it right every time. The early phase of the 37% rule is a chance to make mistakes, learn, and grow. Don't be discouraged by setbacks. Each experience brings you closer to understanding what you want in a partner. Once you reach the commitment phase, the 37% rule encourages you to be decisive. Committing to someone who stands out above the rest can be scary, but it's also the key to building a deep, lasting connection. Rejection is a natural part of dating. The 37% rule can help you handle rejection by reminding you that each experience is part of the process. Learn from each relationship and keep moving forward with confidence. Good communication is essential in any relationship. As you move through the 37% rule, practice open and honest conversations with your partners. This will help you build trust and understand each other's needs. It's easy to have high expectations when searching for love. The 37% rule helps you set realistic goals and avoid disappointment. Focus on finding someone who fits your values and lifestyle rather than chasing perfection. The search for love can be challenging, but staying positive is key. The 37% rule gives you a sense of control and direction, making the journey less stressful and more enjoyable. Remember, every step brings you closer to your goal. Patience is a virtue in dating. The 37% rule encourages you to take your time, learn from each experience, and wait for the right moment to commit. Rushing into a relationship rarely leads to lasting happiness. It's normal to have doubts during the search for love. The 37% rule provides a framework to help you feel more confident in your choices. Trust the process and remember that uncertainty is part of the journey. Support from friends and family can make a big difference in your dating journey. Share your experiences and seek advice when needed. The 37% rule is easier to follow when you have a strong support system. Every step you take in your search for love is worth celebrating. The 37% rule helps you recognize your growth and progress, even if you haven't found the right person yet. Celebrate your journey and the lessons you've learned along the way. Sometimes letting go is necessary. If a relationship isn't working, the 37% rule reminds you that it's okay to move on and keep searching. Each ending is a new beginning, and every experience brings you closer to lasting love. Dating is an adventure full of surprises and discoveries. The 37% rule encourages you to enjoy the process, learn about yourself and others, and embrace the journey. The joy of discovery is one of the best parts of finding love. Confidence grows with experience. As you follow the 37% rule, you'll become more sure of what you want and how to find it. Each relationship, whether it works out or not, builds your confidence and prepares you for lasting love. Shared values are the foundation of strong relationships. The 37% rule gives you time to discover what values matter most to you and to look for them in a partner. This focus on values leads to deeper, more meaningful connections. It's important to stay open-minded as you search for love. The 37% rule encourages you to consider different types of people and experiences. Sometimes the right person is someone you least expect. Personal growth is a key part of the dating journey. The 37% rule gives you space to grow and evolve before making a commitment. Embrace change and use each experience as an opportunity to become the best version of yourself. Balance is essential in love and life. The 37% rule helps you balance exploration with commitment, logic with emotion, and independence with partnership. Finding this balance is the secret to lasting happiness in relationships. Fear of making the wrong choice can hold you back. The 37% rule gives you a rational way to move past fear and make confident decisions. Trust yourself and the process, and remember that every choice teaches you something valuable. The search for love is an ongoing journey. Even after you find a partner, the lessons of the 37% rule can help you continue growing together. Keep learning, communicating, and supporting each other as your relationship evolves. Lasting love doesn't happen by accident. It takes effort, patience, and a willingness to learn. The 37% rule is just one tool to help you on your journey. Use it to make thoughtful choices and build a relationship that stands the test of time. Let's review. The 37% rule suggests you spend the first part of your dating journey learning and observing, then commit to the next person who stands out above the rest. This approach helps you make confident, informed decisions about love. Everyone's love story is unique. By applying the 37% rule, you give yourself the best chance to find a partner who truly fits you. Remember, the journey is just as important as the destination. Embrace the process, trust yourself, and look forward to the love that awaits. In conclusion, the 37% rule offers a practical, science-backed approach to finding lasting love. By balancing observation with action, logic with emotion, you can make thoughtful choices and build a relationship that lasts. Love with confidence and let the 37% rule guide you on your journey to happiness.